Hello, humans and non-humans alike, and good ever applies to you. Today, we are continuing our Pillars of Eternity Let's Play, which I haven't actually done in a long time. God, how long has it even been? Anyway, so we're gonna start by talking to everyone. He tugs at his sleeves. Merwald urges you to seek out these leaden key agents in Defiance Bay. Yes, his condition is any warning. We should find them with all haste. And really, that's all you have to say? Come on, nothing else? Okay, talk. Dare scratches his head and smirks. Well, I guess talking to a crazy watcher is better than talking to no watcher at all. He's funny. I was wondering about Aethys.
It makes two of us.
What is there to know about Aethys?
If you're looking to find religion, maybe you want to start with a god that hasn't been burned to dust, but I won't stop you. Aethys, he was a young man with a silver crown. Carried a candle around with him.
He mutters an amused grunt.
Sounds like I'm giving a bad eulogy here.
He was a lot of different things to different people, I guess. Rebirth, redemption, light. Out in the country, he's Gown, the farmer, who helps all things pass. Seasons and people both. He watches over the weak, does Gown, sees imbalances made right. You can see why all the copperless rowdies around here might take a liking to someone like that. He was real popular here for a time. These days you won't find too many worshipping Aethys in the open. It's hard to know who still does it in private and who's given up. Feels like I'm the last one sometimes. He smirks. That's the case, he deserves all the mourning. Alright, you still worship?
In my way. I don't suppose he expects me to show up at his temple these days. Not much left to do for him other than keep his memory alive and keep hoping that he's just been playing a joke on all of us these past 15 years.
15, damn. As far as I know, he hasn't said anything to anybody since the God Hammer detonated. Why worship him then? He sounds a bit like a dead god. Gurren says, well, if it turns out he's not dead, and I gave up on him, I'd have betrayed my god twice. Even the god of redemption's gotta have standards. I'd probably be run as a fat Mao's horse. That's not really it, though. Though not all of it, anyway. I guess it's more I still believe in the things he believed in. I just hope his death doesn't mean a death to those things as well. Sometimes it looks that way. Why did you choose to worship Aethys in the beginning?
Raised that way. My family's been Aethasian going way back. Suppose it wasn't much of a choice at first. Don't know for sure why my family started worshiping him. Probably because of Gon looking after folks like us.
He looks you in the eye, conspiratorial. Could just well be that my ancestor did something so bad that only Aethys could forgive. Explain a lot about where I got some of my less respectable traits. Do you only wish for these jets or yours? Honestly, that's the big question about religion, really. And if you were just raised that way, do you really actually even believe it all? Or anyway.
There was something I genuinely liked about Aethys. Always. Like he understood people better than the other gods. Knew all our flaws and weaknesses and accepted us for that. Folks are at their worst when they're afraid. A god like Aethys, he made you realize there was nothing to fear. Made you a better person.
Gotta say, writers did a wonderful job.
Of course, he goes away for a few years, and look what happens.
And what made you think Waidwin didn't speak for Aethys?
Was his actions. Not when he started his rebellion, and not even when he took over Raed Saris. It was when he sent his armies into Deerwood.
Up to that point, he was sticking up for his people. That's what Aethys does. At least the Gon part of him. Those farmers are starving and the government didn't lift a finger. Figured it wasn't Aethys himself. At least he had the right idea. But then he sent armies across the border. Even crossed himself in the end. Word was he was chasing refugees that escaped the rebellion. Wanted to punish them. Punish us for allowing them to live here. That just didn't fit for me. Those are the deeds of a vengeful god. Skane, or Wodika maybe. Or just a man who'd lost his sense. I still have trouble believing it, but there's no one left to ask if it's true. And what about these purges? I'm guessing
You sure you don't want to talk about something more pleasant? Like the War of Black Trees or the Legacy or something?
It's eye-opening, seeing just how naked you are when you've got no god to protect you. Saints' War was a hard time to be in Deerwood. People thought it was the end times. They'd talk about They talked big about how we were gonna defeat a god. I don't think there was a man from here to the White March didn't think he was gonna die. It does something to you, thinking you're gonna die at someone else's hands. There's a rage that comes, indignation. Imagine a whole country full of that. It might have been Cold Morn that started it, town near the border. They let Wadewind march right on through. The rest of Deerwood cursed their names till the end of the war. Some say it was the Aethasians there that persuaded the town not to oppose the army. Others said it was just cowardice. It was like the legacy that way. No one knew the real reason, so they just picked whichever one best suited what they wanted to believe. Either way, that town was burning out before the first ashes of Aethys hit the ground. And it felt good to people here to be in control after being so helpless, so the fire spread. A lot of us Aethasians went the way of our god. There were claims from the Church of Magran that she'd actually commanded the purges. I found that hard to believe. Sounded to me like people doing what they wanted, wrapping their god around it like she was a cloak. Then again, that's what I thought about Wadewind.
What's on your mind?
Yeah, I think that's all he has to say. What about you? Oh god, I don't like religious fanatics. I had a question I wanted
If
to ask you.
doubts and curiosity plague you, you're skidding your knuckles on the wrong door.
Tell me about your god. Oh god. Oh, you know her. You must have. She's a many-headed bitch. Well, I think just that's a pretty that's a pretty don't think I need to ask more about his view after hearing that, but let's just go ahead.
She's a goddess, as fickle as they come, and with all the failings you'd expect of an empress and a whore. Too many eyes, too many wants, too much to hold on to. That's the failing of a god. More aspects than words to describe her, like most of them. A god with many nations to oversee, only serves to spread herself too thin.
Although flame rarely crosses twice, so perhaps that is the only truth she embraces. Who knows? Gods get greedy. When it comes to fire, fire is a god's hunger. What are her aspects? Oh, priest of Magran, apparently the many-headed bitch. Maybe shouldn't say that out loud too much. I don't want to be near you when lightning strikes. Dancing can count his fingers chain off. War transforms, fire consumes, trials purify. Warfare, fire, consuming, purification, and also of all, transforming. Trials as well, but all things are put to the test anyway. A trial can consume, purify, transform. They're all linked, although at its heart is the flame, and the flame is what matters. It is the source of all things. Guess they should have started with that, eh? Any fool around a campfire knows that. Yeah, the flames are. To hear some of the inner fires tell it around the hearth and bellows, even the halls of Ashfall, you'd think that fire brought life to man. And the fire was McGround. Some of the older texts say she rubbed her hands together and they burst into flame. Another god shafted her like a poker. There are different perspectives on her then. He grunts. Mine is only one side among many. He frowns, pauses, his eyes take on eagerly. But here's one. I can speak to how the losing side sees her, and I should tell you enough. Let me speak to what an Adirian sees. And what is this Adirian sees? The Adirians have a proper, polite translation for her. Excellence in war, tactical discipline. That's why they lost the fucking colony. Of course, they were properly still quoting that while we had them bent across the decks. All their guns and cannons are fine, but useless when your staff is cracking light into their skulls, dispensing red gifts left and right. Turns fist tight, and he laughs. Idirians call that elevation, divine awareness. Those words are as welcome as shit on one's boots, and that's all they took back with them while they were running. Shakes his head. A lesson learned at the wrong time. Almost feel a pang of sympathy for them. Almost. And what kind of lesson are you talking about? The title of a god isn't knowing a god. Adhering to words rather than walking the path. Testing yourself in the heat of it. Walk until the words are stripped away and you feel it. Burning in your heart. That is the lesson. That Adirian politeness, that pretty adherence to the word of Scripture as they saw it. That burned their ships, scarred them, kept them running throughout the Deerwood campaign. Divine awareness. That's no true faith in waiting to be tested. The best in battle have already shit themselves plenty, shit themselves until they're dry and focus on the killing. And I have more
I
questions.
suspect the answers will seed more questions.
Does she have any allies?
Some, shaped for hunt and war.
He paused his finger scratching at
Abidan
a
the
pox on
Golem,
his cheek.
Galawain and his beasts. The latter keeps us honest and awake. The other makes the tools by which we punish those who are not.
What the fuck's Abaddon? Not surprised you haven't heard. More gods than weeds in a field. And those are only the ones of this lifetime. They come and go, but are always here at the same time. Abaddon used to look human. Got killed and built a new body for himself. Transformation, with Magran's help. Perhaps she needed her own blacksmith to tend the fires. If so, Abaddon serves it. He's a weapon, a tool, not a god in my mind. Still, the people of Deerwood, the cities especially, hold him dear. So be it. Although if the reward for hard work and craftsmanship is a body like his, I'll keep my blood in my cock and have to thrust it with. Damn. Okay, you also mentioned Galloway, Monster Father, the Great Hound, and as for monsters, this world is quite a bit, and not just the ones on two legs. It's as if he's made monsters solely to hunt them, to remind men of their place. He's busy making more, I suspect. More monsters than sense. Variation upon variation. And what the fuck are you talking about, buddy? His aspects are a confusing bunch, and considering he respects reversals of fortune, especially in beasts, perhaps not so confusing. No reason why Magron and he share a bed, in my eyes, even if he does believe in the trial. A filthy Orlangon god, in many ways, howling and mewling, perhaps like they do. They can keep their beasts. I'll take fire and weapons any day. And enemies.
Before, when you asked about allies, well now, ally, enemy, that's a skin's edge of difference in history's eye. But there were enemies.
Yes, but we sorted that out then. Halia and her queen's crown of feathers and birds. Perhaps she claims to see the world from her perch. I hope she saw what happened to Aethys if she dares to walk upon an earth where such fire runs. Her temples are things of windows and twittering music. If a bird falls, know that it's a victory. Seeing another set of darting eyes from that feathered bitch die is a pleasure to me. And why are you so pissy at that one? She and her clergy offer shelter to the Aethasian since his death, his humiliation. She's next for me. Damn. Yeah, okay, I think I'm good on talking to you. What about you? I don't think I've talked to you in a while.
On the road again. A wanderlust is nothing rare in the people of Rawatai, but often I think myself alone in loving the land as much as the sea. What shall we see next, I wonder?
Honestly, how are you holding up? I'm ready if you are. Alright, now tell me about yourself a little.
What shall I tell? I am Kanarua, born in the royal city of Takoa, from which rules the Ranganui. There. That is a solemn enough start.
He grins brightly.
I'm a lore chanter in the college there. Or at least a student of lore and a chanter both.
Do you have any family back there? I have 5 older siblings and my mother and father. My father's a coral mason, favored by the Ranganui. It was he who engineered the Gate of Great Teeth. My 2 brothers have taken up my father's work, and my mother encouraged my sisters to sail. It leaves me free to pursue other things. There is a wealth of knowledge just within the walls of the college, and beyond it, more than I could learn in 10 lifetimes. But I can try all the same. What made you leave the college?
I was on the usual path at first. Theology, the traditions, when the Gate of Great Teeth was completed. It was all my father had hoped for. The greatest commission he had ever received. But it was also a sign that Rawatai was changing. looking inward. Meanwhile, I was neck-deep in the writing of a dozen nations, marveling at all the things that lay beyond our borders.
Isolation's never really good for a country. In so many of those books and records, I found accounts of ancient Ingwith. The Adirians hold a great hunger for Ingwithan relics, and why shouldn't they? It was a civilization from which the Glenfathans learned to read souls. I decided that my third degree would be in history, and that I would study the Ingwithans. They were at the heart of so much discussion abroad, so many discoveries. It drew some mockery. We'd watched Adir draw itself into several conflicts with the Glenfathans over these ruins. Tekoa had its own concerns, and soon I found it a section of the Tanvi Oratoa and an Adirian translation of ancient Ingwithan script. Just there, without explanation. It seemed like a gift from the gods. And, tell me about lore chanters. Yep, this is a boring way to restart a series, but I want to do it, and it's part of the story, so, deal with it. I am the overlord of this channel. You will bear with it or die. Or watch something else. My eldest brother thinks we spend our days in song, weaving wreaths and flowers, but the truth is far less exciting than that, really. Damn, the college preserves what knowledge our people have gathered. I would have said that the lore chanters are a Rautai, for without them we would have no beginning, no sense of how far we come. We would forget ourselves with every generation. I'm only a student, yet, but someday I'll return, and tell the keeper what I learned, and she will add my verses to the chant. Now, what is the Gate of Great Teeth? Much as it sounds, a maze of walls, like the teeth of some nautical terror. It sits outside the city, and guards Takawa from invaders and storms. The storms have always been trouble. Nui Tanri, the angry titans, throw themselves against Rawatai shores. Invaders, I'm not so sure about. Perhaps I'm like the man who, being dry, throws off his rain-cloak during a storm. So my mother would have me believe. And has it changed much since I've apparently left and I was from there? The Bahari grow in influence. They have the Ranga Nui focus our efforts on expanding north and close all the ports to foreigners from the south. Tekoa at least feels smaller. With the Gate of Great Teeth finished, trade is diminished. Oh. Those gleaming rooftop, the silver cliff, the sea, those at least are the same. Today I boarded the ship, the sunrise was gold upon the water, and I leapt overboard and swam for home. And what's this book you're looking for?
Tanvi Oratoa. It's not really a book. It's been passed down over the years in the form of a chant. I actually found it a little strange at first, seeing it set down in stone.
Maybe that was to keep it from dying out. All the people who know the chant died.
It's not quite the same as a song of worship, though we have paeans to the gods as well. More a kind of moral guide. It gives us something to aspire to. The, model of a virtuous citizen of Rawatai.
Why look for it out here?
There have been arguments as to the chant's true interpretation, new translations even. But any rendition of it I find in the ruins of Engwith will predate those translations by 2,000 years. And finding it here also proves that we still have much to gain from trading with other cultures. I'd be lying if I said I'm not looking forward to seeing the look on everyone's faces when I get back. But in the long term, I just think that we can learn a lot from the Engwithians. A civilization like that is something to aspire to. A model for Rawatai as a whole, and not just its people. And I want to prove that all of this is worthwhile. Traveling, seeing the world for what it is. It's been so different from sitting in the Chanter Hall and studying books.
Hey, if you've lost a lot of arguments, you will go through a lot of shit to win them. I should know.
More or less. It wasn't a popular theory when I suggested it. The idea that we shared the Tanvi Oratoha with some older culture, doesn't mean it's not true. It doesn't help that my family is from the Deadfire Islands. If I had a copper pond for every chanter who suggested that it's just not in my nature to conquer. My siblings, my parents, they make up for it. They build walls and cannons and ships. I've tried to explain. It isn't that I think those things aren't necessary, but if Rauatai closes itself off from trade, turns on its own people over tradition, we will fall behind. And then we'll be the ones getting conquered. I think my father tries to understand at least.
See, this guy has a good head on his shoulders. Isolationism is never a good strategy.
Much of Ingwith's writing is lost to us, but an engraving would survive. I found several tablets at the site in Examitol. The scholar Gabranos, in particular, seems to have been fond of writing on the walls. I may have to ask you to help me carry it, if it's a large stone.
Okay, no, he laughed at me on that one. I guess I better sound as insulting as possible and say sounds
You'll
boring.
see a few children nodding off in the middle, I grant you. But the chant is not something taken lightly, and two factions vie for the king's ear. We've been spared the civil wars and petty conflicts of our neighbors thus far. I'd rather it stay that way.
And now, what is a virtuous citizen according to this chant?
Dutiful, learned, honest. The sticking point is loyal. Loyal to the people of Rauatai above all others. Fearless in their defense and bold in aspiration. Tireless in battle or industry. An inspiration to one's people. But it seems it's not that far a leap from there to the idea that we must cast out foreign influences.
Yeah, but you can also interpret it as by staying ahead of industry that you need to have foreign influences so that you can stay ahead of them.
Doesn't everyone want to be a good citizen?
Yeah. Do you think the Ingwithans are the true authors?
I don't know that the distinction is necessarily important. Rauatai has a long history, and our people have come from many different places. It matters less who wrote it than that I have found pieces of the verses all around the world. Wherever it came from, it will be Rauatai that decides what becomes of it. All the races and peoples of our kingdom coming together to create a great empire. You see, then, that I am loyal in my way.
Oh, God, I am so sorry, but I actually really want to read all of this. And this is an RPG, so this is all very important. So it seems it's all rather absurd. What harm could I possibly do them by finding this text? Perhaps they don't like Rauatai. And how did you begin being hunted? And can I press start to fix this music volume? It seems kind of loud now when I'm not killing things. So how did this all begin anyway? I ran into them in Adir, or rather, they sought me out. In Adir, there were many people who had observed the Ingwithan ruins in the Deerwood, and I spent some time conferring with experts. In the libraries, I found accounts of sites in Examitol. And there I traveled next. Just before that, I found myself approached by a woman in Dark's Rose, who bade me abandon my studies for my own safety. I ignored her, of course, but I began to have the sense, after that, of being followed. And after that, well, one ambush on the road I could call misfortune, but three... Oh, okay, wow, that's definitely being hunted. Yeah, who are these people? I thought it only fair to delve into their activities in turn. I found word of a leaden key, but past that was all ravings and superstitions. I might as well have gone around asking whether someone had ever seen a whale flying through the air. Some might well tell me yes, but the validity of their accounts is questionable. Yeah, you don't seem very worried about being hunted by a secret organization that not many people even know exists. They haven't had much luck. The last one came up on me at a dig site and slipped on a muddy beam. I tried to catch him. Reflex, I should think. But he went right over the side and down 100 feet. Oh my... I'm not really sure what he had in mind, but I doubt that was... Okay, and one last party member to talk to.
Your mind comes bearing questions.
Do you know what... Yeah, okay, what... How's... Yeah, do you know what a watcher is? There's a slow chill, and for a moment it seems as if she is going to fade from your vision, and as if she can't bear to be seen.
title came unbidden. I do not know why I spoke of it. Yet it seemed the right mantle, a familiar one.
Yet I do not know from where it came. If I have given offense, oddly enough, it feels like she's not speaking to you. It feels like she's speaking to an audience. The air takes on a curious edge, a chill, which persists for a sharp moment, then fades into a dull fear. If I have given offense, forgive me, forgive me. You would know more than I. Have you encountered Watchers before? I do not know. It is an odd feeling. I do not know where it stems from. It was a word that arose when you saw me. It is said Watchers see much that others do not, and I have been hidden from the eyes of others for some time. How was I able to enter your dream
I do
exactly?
not know. What do you speak of? If you were in my thoughts, I could not feel your presence, nor do I know what you saw there.
As she speaks, you suddenly feel an odd sensation in your mind, like the blood of the hunt welling up in you. You suddenly realize that whether she permits it or not, you could enter her dream and observe it without her ever knowing. There's something about her mind, like a weapons rack, where you could reach in and draw forth a blade if you wished and keep it as your own. And suddenly you find yourself back in your present thoughts. Though you were away for but a moment, she seems unaware of your diversion of thoughts. Maybe one of your gifts, an ability to walk in memories as easily as someone walks upon the ground. Uh, would you like to hear what I saw in your mind? A mixture of curiosity and fear wells up between you. She raises her left hand, the chiming at her wrist quelling the rise within her. She is frightened. The curiosity anchors her.
And what did you see in my memories? I would hear you speak of them.
Yeah, I saw you being a midwife. There's a silence, and as your breath falls still, you hear the faint cry of a child in the distance. A newborn child, almost exactly like what you heard in the dream. As you listen, the grieving mother raises both her hands, as if weaving, her wrists chiming as she does so, in a semblance of the gentle turning she provided while the newborn was crowning. To your surprise, you recognize the motion and the words from the memory, even as they are new to you. As she weaves her hands through the air in front of her, the child cries grow still, yet the sound of the chimes weaves almost hypnotically into your thoughts. The sky seems sharp and clear, and you feel as if you are towering over your surroundings, as if kneeling atop a great pillar, just as she did in the memory. To your surprise, the grieving mother falls as if her strings were cut, and her knees crack hard against the ground. Her hands never cease moving in the air, the chimes echoing her movements. In a ragged voice you hear her speak. The voice is that of a much older woman than the one before you, harsh, almost desperate.
Tell me what you saw. Show me what you saw. Where were you?
Oh, She leans back as it's looking back at the sky, but her eyes are closed, the film building on them. With a slow intake of breath, you feel time become quiet around you. A huge forest that smells as you, hoarsely and even fainter with the distance
The
between you.
stone of the plateau. Its color. Tell me its color.
It's a plateau of... yeah, I don't remember this ship. Seriously, yeah. Feelings like you tears. Okay, so this is like a... It was a silver Audra at surface warmed by the sun. As you watch her hands rise before her, she clasps them and cups them as if feeling them for the first time. And she stares down into the cradle of her hands. Chimes sound once, twice as they swing with the movement.
And what did these hands hold?
There's a sudden intake of breath and then a release. Her eyes blurred closed, forming into slits. But in the brief glimpse you have of her changing expression, The rippling pain in her features seems to have smoothed. She swallows, once, twice, and then you feel her once again in your thoughts, the rasping husk of her voice swallowed and drawn within her.
It was the birthing bell you saw. Has it been so long? Have I forgotten so much?
With the words come a river of impulses, thoughts as if loosed from a breaking dam, and as your mind wraps the impulses into words, you realize it is her muscles and her hardened thoughts relaxing and breathing again. There's such an intensity you almost want to step back from the flow, but you find the wave of impulses cause questions to float to the surface. Among them is a name, Watcher. Yeah, what's the birthing bell?
It is a plateau formed of the spirit stone Audra. At its top is set a great bell, cradled in the reaching arm of the plateau. It stirs in the wind, and it sounds for leagues when struck by kith hands. In distant times, the great bell served as a Glanfathan watchtower, perhaps. Why they abandoned it, I do not know. Other men came in time, settlers, and claimed the tower as their own. I, in turn, claimed it from them. The pillar became a cradle where I could draw new souls into the world.
You were helping a woman give birth, you're a midwife?
Yes. Yet, I believe you only saw a small part of the birthing ritual. It is not all in a moment, nor in a day. It is a journey of many years between the child, the mother, and I.
There was much I could do to aid the mother. Some sought the physical comforts of ritual to steady their thoughts, even Audra from the bell. Others would seek advice, words of counsel for the days ahead. I was able to provide draughts, tinctures, and the reading of the child's spirits, all to strengthen the mother. Can you tell me about the ritual?
The ritual was one of many steps. It took many tens of years to carve them, but always the child's thoughts were there to guide me. From the moment it began to awaken, to the 3 seasons within the mother, to the birthing day, and the years to follow, the child's thoughts, that is where it began. The expectant mother, I could often sense her thoughts, and those of her child, before she could. I would soothe her, free her from the panic of questions. I would sound the memory of the birthing bell atop the plateau in her mind, letting the memory of the vibrations fill my thoughts and hers. Often, the child's soul could hear it too, so the sound of the bell echoed in the mother's thoughts.
And yeah, let's continue the journey there. We're taking an awful long time, so let's just keep going. I guess everyone attack that. I don't know what we're doing here, but apparently that's an enemy. Kill it. And oh, that's a lot of them. Maybe I should have saved when I finished all the talking. I just realized saving might have been a good idea when I finished the very, very long speech. Middle letters and minor missile on something, please. Do you have enough spells to summon a skeleton? No. Not enough chance there, and I don't know anything about you, so let's just unpause, I guess. Can you please not die? Thank you. They're ants. Could you help a little, maybe? Okay, you have... Okay, that doesn't work at range. Shit, what abilities? Okay, now you can summon a skeleton. Unpause.
Stand still.
Yeah, go forth, skeleton warriors! And he already used his mark prey. Time to use the wounding shot. How's things going so far? I can't tell. Okay, that looks like it ended well. Maybe. Okay, let's loot everything. I'll take that, I guess. Apparently those are all ingredients. And where am I? Dryford Crossing. Why am I in Dryford Crossing? Or Deerford Crossing? I actually don't know. Let me check journals or something. I only have one camp left? Okay. Now, why would I be in... Go to the Temple of Wodaka? Defiance Bay. Okay, that's in Defiance Bay. That doesn't explain why I'm here. In the wilderness outside of... Okay, maybe I'm looking for this ogre's lair. Okay, that's, again, just Dryford for information about it. Yeah, this is disappearances. Team Lady A listened to it is now. It seems the villagers of Deerford have not been much else. He's talking about Trigo, his shops. Yeah. Okay, explore the endless paths, find the ruins beneath Cade Nua. It's been okay. So, after looking at that, I have a better idea of what I'm doing out here. Sort of. I'm looking for something east of here for... Figure out, the ogre, and also for looking for the missing person. Okay. Let's go find this missing persons. And what the hell am I wearing? Sorry, it has been a long time. Fine robe. I may have put this on just because it was fine. That's slightly better. At least I'm not a hunter walking around with a robe anymore. And what weapon do I have? What is this? Unique sword, one-handed. Okay. I have a one-handed sword there. Aloth has equipment. You have equipment. You have a plank shield? Oh yeah, right, the door. Okay, I'm starting to remember things now. I'm sorry, folks. Man, chanters in this game are really cool, though. I might make a chanter character just for myself. At some point, just to run around with for fun. And the fact that you have multiple... Maybe it would be better for her to have... leather. I don't know. She's the only one I found so far that doesn't have any unique armor. So, let's see, I'm in Dryford Crossing. Wait, it looks like there's some more stuff south here. And options. Where's audio? Sound. Okay, that music seems a bit loud to me, so I lower it a lot. And is there anything south of here? No, it's still just Dryford Crossing, huh? Damn, I thought for sure there'd be... you're probably gonna have to keep looking then.
I shall be quiet as a calm sea, which is not very quiet.
Okay. Someone don't let him talk. Is there a cave here? There's an egg up there. Shit. Yeah, I ain't gonna fuck with that. Okay then, so let's save again too while we're at it. Let's get saving. Because otherwise, I'm gonna make you sit there and watch me talk to them all over again. No, I'm kidding. Ish. Somewhat. Kind of. Anyway. So, there was at least some violence in this episode. We killed some things. That's the most important thing. Wait, I can...
Keeping an eye out.
Why is there just a X mark on the interaction there? That's not weird at all. The broken statue, there's that, and then... Maybe, I guess next option is to take that northern path. And... Did I mess with this statue already? Only the broken legs and feet of the sculpture remain. Long grooves alongside suggest that it could be removed. The base statue discovered a skull carved into the stone. Examine the skull. A skull is carved into stone in intricate relief. Its mouth is agape. Peering closely, you notice a rusty keyhole between its jaws. Push. Hater! Try it. Give it a... Hater push statue. Arm shaking, feet scrabbling for foliage. It doesn't budge. Okay, I'll try pushing it. Alof? Can anyone push this statue? No? Okay, use a hammer. Alright then. No, I lost a hammer and chisel. You chip away at the base of the statue. By the time your arms are from the ringing hammer blows, you've scratched at a hole just wide enough to fit 3 fingers. Air whistles through the gap, but whatever's on the other side, you won't be able to dig your way through it. Wedge a pry bar? And I lost a pry bar too? Damn, you place the pry bar into the hole you chiseled, leaning onto it with all your weight. You feel the statue slide and grind along the grooves. The displaced pedestal reveals a dark passage descending into the earth.
I insist.
Damn, why is it after me? Why do I have to go into the deep dark... Oh, wait, everyone's tired. And we only have the 1 camping supply. Damage versus flanked. I guess rest. I can't think of anything else to do. This is our last camping supply. And great, we're dreaming of creepy rocks. No warm campfires. And 8 hours have passed, but time to save just before walking into the dark abyss. That is whatever's down here. And let's go! Deerford Ruins. Wait, Chanters start with a bonus to mechanics? Really? Damn it, I broke a hammer and chisel and a pry bar for this shit. Maybe I should have watched my last playthrough to see what the fuck I was doing before. Oh, that probably sounds like a smart idea. Why didn't I do that? No comments from any of you. In regards to my intelligence. I'll find you. At least I know this is my first time here. Wait, what is this? Make it known it was here that the interloper came to his end. May he rest in peace. O gods, may he please rest in peace. There once was a party thrown by him, with moonshine filled to the brim. Suspiciously uncouth, surprisingly smooth, to drink was a worthwhile whim. Here lies Skip Greenwood, as glorious as chainmail and reckless abandoned are. They are no match for a barbarian with a great axe. You know, the world isn't run by the laws written on paper. It's run by people. Some according to laws, others not. Depends on each individual how his world will be, how he makes it. And, okay, there's just memorials. What's this?
As you wish.
The effigy is made of several crooked sticks tied together with swift twine, crescent, ominous flickering shadow on yada yada. Addendum added blood legacy. Wait, what? I found a room some cane. It's unclear where it used to be, but the symbols of cane have been painted on the walls and carved into the tunnels.
My thoughts will be as silent as my feet.
And still a bunch of memorials everywhere, huh? Knowledge and harmony, an isometric universal path. May this be our next epic quest immortalized. Seek the crest where the fish and dragon meet as one. Wait, is that a clue for something? It sounds like a weirdly worded clue. I can speak! I have language! Oh, we found a temple sentry. Oh, shit. They got backup. They got backup and I'm about to go down. Like a ton of bricks. Yeah, as I said, I went down like a fucking ton of bricks. I don't know, just do what you can, attack something. I'm dead. I'm a corpse. All I got left is the boar to save me. Okay, it has been a while, let that be known. I don't exactly know what I'm doing. Yeah, maybe I should have started over like I was originally planning and recorded episodes for, and then edited, and decided no, it would be better just continuing on with what I was doing. Yeah, I could be indecisive at times, if you hadn't noticed. Try that. Just burn everything. I have a feeling you, no. What is this? Okay, no, that's still not what I need. Oh, baby, you don't got what I need. Unpause. And Ader's gone. We fucked. Abandoned mission. I don't know what I'm doing. Help. I have no one to help me. Help. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you take a break from a... Oh, Ader got back up, and then I knocked him back down with fire. Okay, let's just, Wait, what's the difficulty on this? Normal. Oh, that explains things. Shit, put this shit on easy. You have not yet visited. Wait, well, okay, let's load. Let's load that one up. Put it on easy because I am clearly challenged with these games. With this game. I have never played any of these types before. I don't know how I managed on normal for as long as I did. While live streaming this thing. That was definitely some strokes of luck there. Alright then, just keep loading, just keep loading, just keep loading. I will manage this somehow. Somewhere, some way. And I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing and I can't help myself. Okay. It is on easy now. Those ruins have something to do with my, missing persons quest. I don't know what exactly, but, yeah, let's skip those for now. Let's skip that ruin for now and go north. North. Yes. There might be something this way, right? Maybe? I don't know.
Discreet.
Activate fast mode. Hello, dear! Should I eat you? Nope, there's nothing north. Okay, so this is just a dead end then, huh? Is that what you're telling me, game? This is east of the village. I don't understand. Okay, wait. Oh yeah, my stronghold. Damn, I completely forgot about that. Oh, I definitely don't have enough money for anything. Okay then, let's just keep doing something. But what options do we have here? I know there's somewhere in the wilderness outside of Dryford Village. The Bale River east of Deerford, and this is east. This appears to be a river. I have not seen any ogre. Wait, that is kind of suspicious right there, though. Let's just check that before we run back with our tails between our legs. I've already rested and used my last camping supply, so let's just keep going. I'm a horrible scrub who has to put game on easy. And, and we haven't been here yet. We have confirmation that we have not been here yet. Also because there's something still alive. And we are the Expert Murder Hobos Association. Okay, wait, let me switch. And Durance, you switch too. Unpause. They obviously need some help here. And Durance's main healing ability is rather unfortunately very close range. And no, they killed my boar. My poor boar, who seems to always get killed by something. And let me just kill this thing before we end this video. Unpause. To at least kill this. Maybe I should use a bow, because there's now a little too many people in close range combat here. Anyway, that'll be it for this episode. Sorry it was very, talky, and almost no violence. That is very unlike me. I apologize. I like to murder. I am murder hobo extraordinaire. Anyway, thank you for watching. Remember to like and subscribe if you like and want to subscribe, and remember to follow me on Twitter, channel updates, dogs and cats, all the good stuff. Anyway. Goodbye, humans and non-humans alike, and good whatever applies to you.